Guys, this is gonna be the last, hopefully, video for this lesson. We're on our last element for the three fundamental elements of the facility layout. So that's gonna be flow. So we discussed previously space, relationship, and the next is flow. So basically, it's fairly straightforward. So flow between departments. So flow within a facility, considering the locations of the entrance and the exit. The exit, sorry. So at the same location, basically, we have a little bit of a parallel type of flow. Could also do a little bit of a zigzag type of flow. So basically, these are just examples of how you can design the flow of your operations, the flow of your departments. All right. So basically, this is going to be the flow between departments. All right. So the flow within departments, you have a few options. You have your adjacent, end to end, your back to back, front to front, maybe a circular flow, or maybe even an odd angled flow. So these are just some examples in how you can design your flow for your layout. So product departments flow. So in a product or a product family department. So yeah, basically these are just flow examples. So process department flow. So little flow between workstations and flow occurs between workstations and aisles. So similar to product department flows, you still have aisles, so side to side, a little bit of like back to back perpendicular flow actually, and a diagonal flow. So it's really more of an art rather than a science. Yeah. All right. So we have flow within departments. The continuations of flow within departments with the material handling considerations. We have line flow patterns. We have a straight flow, a U flow, S type of flow, O shaped flow, and a W shaped flow. So this will really depend on your process and your facility on which type of flow you will need. So again, it's not a hard science. It's really up to you to decide which type of flow shape is best for your layout for your process. So here are a few more examples. So, but what are some of the signs of a good general flow? So basically, the flow starts at the receiving and terminates at the shipping. So what you would want is at your entrance, the point of entry. That's where your process really starts, and it ends when you're about to ship the process, because it kind of minimizes the travel time. So the movement of different materials, different inventories. Next is straight and short lines of flow. Minimum backtracking. So backtracking is basically when you're going, for example, from operations to, so for example, the process is HR, then you go to operations. Backtracking is going from operations back to HR and then going to back to operations and then back to procurement. So that's what backtracking means. So another sign of a good general flow is material is moved directly to point of use. So where basically the material doesn't have any idle time. It minimizes storing the materials or the raw materials in places where it won't actually be used. Minimum work in progress. Pattern is easily expandable. New process can easily be merged. So flexibility and adaptability is another important consideration when it comes to your layout. So it's important that when capacity has to be expanded, your layout will actually be expanded fairly easily as well. So principles of effective flow, continuation. So maximize direct uninterrupted flow. So you don't really want any crisscross, because this can cause errors. This can cause confusions. Yeah. So principles of an effective flow. So minimizing backtracking, as we've discussed. So there's actually a way to calculate this. So for example, you're going to so flow path is A, B, C, and D. So basically that's going to be 50 plus 50 plus 50 plus 75 plus 25 for a total of 250 feet of travel distance. All right. So a flow with backtracking is going to be A, B, A, C, D. So that's 50, 50 going to be going back to A is 50, 50, and then going to C 50, 50, 50 to go to C, and then finally to D 75 and 25. So as you can see, comparing these two, there's a 200 feet difference. So that's basically your backtracking penalty. So you want to minimize that in your facility layout. So you do this by really arranging your activities, your workstations based on your process diagram, process flow chart. So yeah, you minimize flow, maximize directed flow path, and then minimize the cost of the flow. So yeah, other principles of effective flow. All right. So how do you integrate? So basically, that's what flow is. What you want to do is create to make ensure that materials, information, people move, minimize their movement and minimize um, the amount of distance that material, information, and people actually travel. So your flow has to minimize these things. Okay, so how do you integrate your process flow chart and your layout? So you can actually do this through a flow diagram. So basically, what you do is you have your layout, and then you put little markers here. It's not really super visible. Um, just to kind of showcase how the process will look like. So basically, you have the blueprint, and then you show. All right. So for example, this is receiving. So for step one, actually, sorry, better. This is the receiving. So step one, you go here. Step two is here. Step three. Step four, I think. Step four is here. Five, six, seven, eight. So basically, you're kind of overlapping your process diagram on your facility layout to see how things will actually flow. So yeah, this is a good diagram to actually show things, and I would highly encourage you guys to put this in your paper. Yeah, that's basically it for this lesson. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to message me. I'll be more than happy to answer any of your questions or concerns. All right, that's it. Thanks, guys.